down, you're going to draw a little platform. Okay, draw a little platform. And under that little platform, you're going to label that platform A, because this is where we work. Remember that change you're thinking of? You're moving from something to something else. From something to something else. This is where we were. This is current state, for example. This is what we were moving. We're moving from a team to a different team. We're moving from system A to system B. We're moving from an old way to a new way of doing things. From building A to building B. From having kids at home to being an empty nest. Ha, just kidding. Okay. So from A to B. So A, and we were here, and we were happy here. So we draw ourselves and we were happy here. Isn't that fun? We're on a platform and we're happy. And then over on the other side, we're going to draw another platform. This is super, super important. When you draw the platform over here, I need you to draw the B platform higher than A. It has to be higher on the page. It has to be vertically higher than B. A has to be higher than B because up is progress. Like north is up, you know? Up has to be, it has to be higher because our minds go up. If it goes down, if you've drawn this like on a sticky note and you accidentally draw B at the same level as A or below A, you have to crumple it up and throw it away. It won't work. You have to draw B higher. B has to be higher than A because we gotta go up. Progress is up. We have to tap into the growth mindset. So B has to be up, it has to be visually higher. And we draw a dotted line around B because we're not there yet. It's in the future. And I can't quite get there. B is up, and I can't quite get there yet. I'm not there yet. It's future. It's uncertain. There's still some stuff I don't know, but it's better. It's better than today. And when I get there, guess what? I'm going to be happy. When I get there, I'm going to be happy. So then, wouldn't it be nice if I could just step from here to there? Nope. But that's not how it works. And even if we had engineers in this room, and we might, I'm afraid you can't build this bridge. It doesn't work that way. In fact, what happens is we fall off a cliff. And there's just no other way to describe that than we fall off a cliff. And sometimes it feels more like we've been pushed off of a cliff, but we fall off of a cliff, and many of us are not big fans of cliff falling. And so this cliff falling is complete with tears. So we fall off the cliff and we cry about it. It's sad. Most of us don't like cliff falling. And the thing that I want to say about this model is while this model may not apply to you entirely in your specific change situation, this is a bit of a universal model, and when you get the hang of the model, you can adjust it as you need for your audience, but let me show you the model. So we fall off the cliff, and then, once you're at the bottom of the cliff, you have this thing that is muck. It's muck, it's mud. How many native Iowans in the room? Native Iowans? Thank you, by the way, you're the reason I live here. I have literally lived all over the world. Dad was in the Navy, we lived everywhere. And I picked Iowa, not for the weather, let me be clear. But I did pick Iowa for the Iowans. Thank you, you're the reason I live here. Okay, so the Iowa thaw. In the beginning of the year, when the ground thaws, and then you try and step on that mud, and then you and you step on it, and it takes your boot and your sock too. Like it's unstable and it's uncomfortable, and you slog through it. That's all you can do, and it's uncomfortable and it's miserable, and it sucks you in. That's what this is. That's what this is. That's what this is. You got to put like plywood down or something to be able to get across it, because it's just awful. That most of us don't like that either. Most of us don't. And then, just when you think it can't get worse, you start climbing up the other side. And you've heard that phrase, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's what's going on over here. And many of us, again, I won't say all, but many of us don't like that part either, because that part involves sweating. That part involves sweating. And if I wanted to sweat, I would go to the gym. And you're welcome to check my wallet. There is no membership card in there. But many of us will say, oh, I love change for the challenge. Those people are not who I'm talking about right here. Those people love this part freely. I will acknowledge those people love this part. But many of us are at this part where we have to do this heavy lifting and the learning and the figuring out of the new things. And if they would set our day jobs aside and say, don't worry about your day job while you learn this stuff, that would be fine. But they don't, do they? They don't. They say, figure this out, learn this new system, figure all this new stuff out. In addition to your day job, which already has you spread so thin, you think you're going to snap. Right? And so for many of us, this feels very, very painful. And so what I want to point out here is there are 5 distinct phases. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 distinct phases in this that require 5 distinct messages, 5 distinct periods of communication that we can't get into a ton of detail now, but that I will show you are 5 very, very distinct pieces in the journey. A fixed mindset you will never get to be, because there is no better. A fixed mindset will not get you to B, because there is nothing better than A. Because I have what I have and I'll never get better. You have to have a growth mindset to get to B. And the good news is the mindsets are contagious. And the bad news is that mindsets are contagious. So you hang out with fixed mindset people and you'll get a fixed mindset. And you hang out with growth mindset people and you'll get a growth mindset. So mindset is a tactic that you can use to grow. And a people positive attitude, looking around at the people around you, look at all these people, and they're not like you, isn't it great? That's emotional intelligence, that's a tactic you can use. And the 5 different conversations that we can use to move us forward in the change journey, that's a tactic that we can use in the strategy of emotional intelligence. These are tactics. So you have access to the change infographic. A few years ago, I had a graphic designer working with me, and he saw me do this, and he's like, Sinikka, you have got to stop drawing disembodied heads. It is really, really weird. And so this is the change infographic. It has more information, more tactics, and there is a treasure trove of tools. There are blogs. Yourself and others through the journey of transition. You don't say, poof, we're changing from A to B. You prepare people for the journey. You grieve with them when they're in moments of loss. You give them solid footing when they're slogging. You encourage them when they're climbing, and you celebrate with them when they've arrived at the top. Those are 5 totally different messages. And when we treat change as a journey instead of as a process, instead of as an event, we communicate better and it sticks better. And that is a really, really simple tool that we can use to communicate with people. That's one, for instance. One super simple. So we talk about strategies and tactics. And when I teach strategies and tactics. So a strategy is the journey. A tactic are the different kinds of messages, the different kinds of words that you might need to adjust. And you might need to do different words for different people at those different stages. The tactics then are the words that you use, the messages that you use. Strategy. Sinikka, you need to work on your listening skills. Tactics, take a sip of water. How does that work? Well, if I have water in my mouth, I can't say dumb stuff. Excellent. Strategies, listening skills. Tactics, water in mouth means no foot in mouth, right? It's tactic. Strategies and tactics. So the strategy is the journey of communication. The tactic would be the different messages, tools you can use.